Yeah, my name is Frank Mohr. I'm covering the ETF sales trading at Commerzbank globally. Commerzbank is one of the leading market makers in Europe and also here in Asia. And we're doing that since more or less 10 years, and we are playing a dominant role in the ETF industry. And our task is really to grow that industry together with the ETF issuers, with the market makers, with the exchanges and every participant. Many people say there is a development from America to Europe to Asia. And this is what I realize. We see some bits and pieces where Asia is behind the European development, yeah? But it is a question of time when it will change. Yeah? For instance, make an example, in European place, we have a lot of the RFQ business, OTC RFQ business, which has changed the landscape dramatically in Europe. And this business is not here in Asia yet. But I'm pretty sure it will come. It will also move from Europe to Asia, so that we see more and more on this business even here and in Asia. And that means people have access to much better pricing, to much better liquidity, and that will happen. Educational-wise, there's also a lot to do. There's still a lot to do in Europe, pretty sure, but also here in Asia. But I see already great developments, and I think the gap is closer, coming closer. In general, I'm a great fan of ETFs, and I believe we are, let's say, really maybe at the halfway of our development ETF business. So I'm pretty sure there's much more to do. In Europe, maybe the new regulation next year with MiFID II can change the game in Europe, that maybe more investors will use ETF. That is something what I see in Europe, and here in Asia, more and more people also use ETFs, getting familiar with this business, and maybe we see also sort of regulation in the near future here, that people coming more into that ETF space. It is really the fragmentation of the markets. I mean, you see the fragmentation in Europe, which is not really in America. You have one big market, but in Europe, if you see it from the outside, if you see it from America, many people think, okay, it's Europe, but you have 23 different exchanges, 23 different regulations. So it is not really one country. It is really fragmented. Now the new regulation will help to have at least a sort of common background. That will help this to reduce the fragmentation, but we are far away here in Asia. And in Asia it's even more fragmented, and that is, I think, it is a challenge. So it will take time to overcome that and to have a, let's say, a common market. The ideal world, as I always say, the ideal world here in Asia or in Europe would be having one exchange, one delta, one exchange, everything on exchange, everybody meets on exchange. Fine, wonderful, but we're far away from that.